Yeah. I must admit, I have not done that before, but hey, too much going on. Oh my goodness.
I'm glad to have you in the meeting room.
I'm like, they're always on by now. I'm like, I said, am I in the right place? And then I realized, wait a minute, I'm in the wrong spot.
Matthew's iPad, can you please identify yourself?
This is Matthew Shepard.
Okay, thank you. Director Sturman, did you get your video to work?
You don't have to tell me. I can hear you.
Did you get your video to work?
Can anybody see me?
No.
No. Oh, there you go.
You just had it for a second.
There you go. You're
I
good.
see me.
There you go. Now you got it.
Okay. Good.
Okay. The time is now 4:01.
Well, you know how I hate to be behind schedule, so I would love to call this meeting to order at 4:01. The tax incremental reinvestment zone number 4. Welcome, everyone. Glad you're here. We'll call the meeting to order. Anyone desiring to comment should have registered or signed in. Are there any desiring to comment?
No, sir.
There being none, we'll consider an act on the minutes of our last meeting of September 21st, 2020.
Motion to approve?
I second.
I have a motion from Carol, I believe. Somebody identify yourself that seconded.
This is Cynthia.
Cynthia, thank you.
Yes.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any opposed? Motion to approve the minutes is approved. Our next order of business is our annual report. Cam, I believe you're up to give us that report.
All right. Well, thank you very much for your time today. This will be we're jumping through the slides there. This will be a pretty short presentation. We covered a portion of this information at our development update back in September, but just want to kind of brief everyone on what the annual report is and why we go through this exercise annually. It is a requirement of the state tax code that governs the TERS organizations throughout the state. We're required to report to the state on TERS values, our revenues, and our expenditures, as well as any things like any bonds that are created for the TERS. After you have had a chance to review this report and recommend it to City Council for their review, City Council will then formally approve the report, and we will send the information in the report up to the Comptroller's office. We will also send a copy of the report to all of the taxing districts represented within the TERS. So it's all of those organizations you see on your screen there. Next slide, please. So just a bit of history on the zone. We were created back in 2009 by the city. The city agreed to participate at 50%. We have a base value of $21.5 million. In 2011, the two MUDs, MUD 138 and 139, both agreed to participate, and they each have base values of around $10.5 to $10.9 million. And in 2013, Fort Bend County and the Drainage District participated as well at 50% of the taxes above the base value of $72 million. Next slide, please. Next slide. Now we're going to jump into the report information that's compiled this year. First we'll talk about the sources of revenues and the amount of those revenues. In fiscal year 2020, which is what this report covers, we did receive a total of $1.033 million in revenues, and that is compiled from about $362,000 from the county's tax increment. The city also contributed about $362,000. MUD 138 contributed $227,000, and MUD 139 contributed $55,000. We did also continue to earn interest on our existing balance in the total of $25,613.
Cam, this is
Yes.
Director Gornett.
Yes.
Can I ask a question real quick?
Absolutely.
Why such a big difference between MUD 138 and MUD 139 revenue?
I believe it's the different geographies that they each cover. Forgive me off the top of my head. I'm having trouble placing exactly where 138 and 139
But
boundaries.
139 is on the side of 59 where Smart Financial Center is located, but there's also neighborhoods over there, Avalon at Telfair. And I don't know if part of it is because the TERS runs, a year behind, but a lot of those houses that are on that side have been in existence, for several years. So I was just curious. It seems like it should be catching up by now, but it doesn't look like it is.
I don't believe all of that housing is within the TERS boundary.
Okay.
The TERS boundary ends on the south end at the drainage ditch that runs over from the ditch H that runs north-south.
Okay.
That drainage ditch that cuts across over University into the University of Houston property.
Right. Right.
So I don't believe we're capturing all of that residential value in the
Okay.
TERS amounts.
All right.
Now, this is Jennifer Raymond. Also, if you think about the commercial development that's in 138, is going to be much greater value than residential.
Right.
And the 139 is most of the big buildings are tax deductible.
Okay. That's true.
So that's the big issue there.
Okay.
Pamela Goebbels here. I also have a question. The Fort Bend County tax increment, does that include the drainage district as well?
That is included in that number. Yes, ma'am. Any other questions before we move on to talking about expenditures? All right. Next slide, please. So here we had about $25,000 in administrative expenditures this year. We did not incur any legal expenses under that were funded under the TERS contract this year. And you'll see there at the bottom, we did not have any prior outstanding bond indebtedness and we had no intentions to issue any of that. Next slide, please. So taking a look at each of the organization's incremental values, or each of the taxing entities' incremental values, in 2019, tax year 2019, which coincides with fiscal year 2020 for the purposes of this report, the city had just under $230 million of appraised value in the TERS district. When we take out our base value, which again is not considered the increment portion, we do have a little over just under $208 million in captured value for the city. Next slide. Looking at the municipal utility district, so MUD 138, they had $145 million in total appraised value within the TERS. Taking out their base value of $10.5 million, we have about $135 million in captured value. Next slide, please. Again, MUD 139, similar here. We have our, as you saw on the couple of slides earlier, slightly lower appraised value within the TERS district of 59, just under $60 million there, which gives us a captured value of just under $49 million. Next slide. And looking at the county and drainage district, the total appraised value there being $222.8 million there, with a base value of $72 million. We see $150 million in captured value for tax year 2019. Next slide, please. Apologize for the lopsidedness there, but looking at the total taxes that we have received from all of the taxing districts over the life of the TERS, we start this graph at 2010. We have seen the city has contributed $1.4 million, $1.46 million. The county and the drainage district have contributed $1.34 million. MUD 138, $848,000. MUD 139 has contributed $453,000, for a total of over $4.1 million that has been contributed to the TERS from the various taxing entities since its inception. Next slide, please. With that, the recommendation from staff is to recommend the report to City Council for the fiscal year 2020 annual report for TERS 4 And again, after you recommend it to them for approval, they will consider and approve it in early January. And then from there, copies of the report will be sent to the comptroller and all of the taxing entities within the zone. At this point, I'll be glad to answer any questions y'all may have on the report.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, my question's on the grand total for the total taxes received. How does the 4.1 million compare with last year, the 2019 report? Just ballpark.
So can we pull up slide, I believe it's slide 12, and put that back on the screen? It's the taxes received slide. So if you'll look, we had a grand total of 1.7 million, 1.007 million that were contributed in just this year. So we can look, I believe it was it would have been 3.04 million would have been what we reported last year. Sorry, I don't have the grand total from last year.
Right.
Years,
okay. The difference.
Should be about $1 million less than what we reported this year as the balance.
Okay.
Or the amount of taxes received.
Hi, this is Jennifer Raymond. My question is, does anybody kind of have an idea of what the appraisal district is going to do with, okay, here I am. I've just got workers coming up behind. But what the appraisal district is planning to do with values based on a year of COVID?
So this is Elizabeth Huff. Sorry, Cam. We have actually already approached the Central Appraisal District to visit with them on like what their thought process is going into it. Obviously, there's not a lot that they could share right now, but we have reached out to them and are looking for some more information.
Thank you. Sorry about that. I was the contractor.
Thanks, Elizabeth. Did everyone have a chance to review the report prior to the meeting? I know we sent that out, I believe, Thursday or so, Wednesday or Thursday of last week. I do encourage you to take a chance to review the new format that we put the report in. If you haven't had a chance to do so, we have a new employee in our Economic Development Office who is John Soriano, who's on this call, who would really help with sort of revamping that report format and putting some information into a little bit more readable format for you. So if you haven't had a chance to check that out, I encourage you to do so.
Okay.
Mr. Sturman?
Hi, Bridget. Yes, ma'am.
Hi. It would be helpful. It's been a while, a year, half since I've been on council. So it would be helpful if, could you send out a map of this TERS and then an overlay of the two different MUDs? I think that would give me a clear picture of the taxing entity, what part of that is being taxed for the MUD purpose. I mean, for the TERS purposes.
Absolutely. We can send that out to the board.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Any other questions for Cam or the staff?
Pamela Googles, I make a motion to approve the report as presented.
Thank you, Pam. Is there a second?
I'll second. Bridget?
Please identify. Thank you, Bridget. I have a second from Bridget. A motion to approve and to City Council the report. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion is approved unanimously. Thank you very much. Cam, thank you. Are there any other questions or items for us to consider while we're together? I'll exercise a point of privilege as the chair and thank you all for your work and assistance this year. The TERS is a really important part of our community here in Sugar Land, and all of you have played a role. So I thank you for your time and your interest. I wish you a very Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and stay safe. there being no further business, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
This is
I'll
Terry.
make that
Make the motion.
I'll second that.
Motion from Terry to adjourn and seconded by Matt. Is that a new grandchild, Matt?
Yeah, I'm bragging. That's the Christmas present this year to us.
Aw.
Fantastic. Well, congratulations.
I like to
And
announce her name, June Autumn Carter.
And how old is Jude?
She is now, she was born on the 11th of December.
Oh, wow.
Fantastic.
Brand new.
Well, I have a new granddaughter down in Galveston who was born on the 12th. And her name is what is her name? Huh. Let's see. Hayden, Holden, and Harlan. Harlan Ann. They all start Hardcastle. They all start with H's.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you. So it's a happy time. I hope you all have a Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas.
Thank you very much.
Christmas. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you again for your time. Thank you, staff. Merry Christmas to all. This meeting is adjourned.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.